Welcome back. We are continuing in the electrolytic cell. As we say, the cell converts electrical energy to chemical energy. There are some definitions that might be elusive to some of the learners. The first one is electrolyte. In both galvanic and electrolytic, we'll be using electrolyte. Electrolyte is a solution that conducts electricity. Through free moving ions. So, and again there will be another term which is electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell will be a cell that converts electrical energy to chemical energy. That is, if they can ask you what is an electrolytic cell, or lastly they can ask you to define electrolysis. So electrolysis now, same as the electrolytic cell. This one, the difference is that this is a process or a phenomenon, whereby electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. A process that converts electrical energy into chemical energy. The process is called electrolysis. Now in the electrolytic cell, we have got two cells that are going to be studied. In fact, we are having four cells. The difference between the two cells is that the two cells are using active electrodes, whereas the other two are using inactive electrodes. Now let's classify them. We have electrolysis, that's cell number 1. Electrolysis of sodium chloride. Another cell, we have got electrolysis, that's number 2. Electrolysis of copper chloride. These are the two cells that we'll be studying. Firstly, the ones that they normally deal with its electrolytic reactions. Now, if we draw them, pardon my drawing, might be not perfect, but the information will be there. We need two electrodes, which are the inert one, that is carbon electrode. Carbon. We need the energy from the battery, and then therefore as a result this electrode will be positive and this one will be negative because it's connected to the negative terminal of the battery, and we know negative is the cathode and the positive is the anode. Fine. Also in this case we have got also this one, another beaker which can contain also two carbon electrodes. We need a battery or a cell, and again this will be positively charged and this one is negatively charged because of the the terminals of the battery where it's connected. In the case of electrolysis, The electrolyte here is sodium chloride. Therefore, we expect to have sodium ions and chlorine ions. This side, we have got copper chloride, which will have copper ions and chlorine ions and water. Also, this side will have water. These are the species in the cells that will be involved. Now, as the cell is in operation, we'll find that now the negative ions will be attracted to the positive electrode. As a result, the bubbles will be formed there, and those negative ions, they will be now, meaning that now oxidize at the anode to form chlorine gas plus 2 electrons. Same thing with the copper. Also, the negative ions will be attracted here at the anode, because it's the only species that can undergo oxidation. Will be therefore 2 chlorine ions will be oxidized to form chlorine gas. And this one, in simple terms, in both cells, chlorine is formed at the anode. That's what you should know. Chlorine gas is formed at the anode. Note it down. Therefore, at the cathode, what's going to happen? Now we have got 2 possibilities here. That's where the chemistry comes into being, to say now learners must know what's happening at the cathode of these cells. At the cathode of the cells, this is what's going to happen. You will find that there are 2 possibilities there. At the cathode, and also at the cathode of the other cell. Now in this one, at the cathode, we are going to have a possibility of sodium ion being reduced to form sodium, or water being also reduced to form hydrogen gas plus 2 OH minus. These are the 2 possible reactions that can happen at the cathode, but which one will take place between the 2? We go to the electrode potential, and then now we check that, then sodium has got electrode potential of 2.27, negative 2.27, and then whereas this one is having negative 0.83. Now, which one is the big boss between the 2? They are fighting for electrons. Remember, the big one will always win the battle. Therefore, the big boss here is water. Therefore, sodium ions will not be reduced at the cathode in the presence of water. Therefore, the second reaction will take place at the cathode. That's why now at the cathode, we are going to form the hydrogen gas. The hydrogen gas will be formed at the cathode in the case of electrolysis of sodium chloride. And then in the case of copper chloride, there are 2 also reactions. There will be copper ion might be reduced to form copper metal. Another one is the one of water. Another species that can undergo reduction will be this one. Say 2 electrons forming hydrogen, and then plus 2 OH minus. Which one will take place between the 2? We check the electrode potential. Copper has got positive 0.34, whereas water is having negative 0.83. Which one is the big boss? Copper. Therefore, water will not be reduced in the presence of copper. Therefore, the one of water won't take place. Therefore, will form, instead of the gas at the cathode, will form the layer of copper. So copper will be now reduced here to form that layer of copper in this case. Yeah, so we'll continue. Thanks in the part 3. Thank you.